Hello and welcome to a new episode of Silly Point, or as it might be known nowadays as the IPL Special Edition podcast, as we continue our coverage/discussion about the IPL and the recent developments. So today we're going to discuss the best 11 so far of the IPL combined in the 2020 season. And just to make it a little interesting, of course, we'll comply with the IPL rules, which are maximum of 4 overseas players, but also just to make the debate a little bit more fun, just a maximum of 3 players per franchise, which shouldn't be a problem. Although you can argue that Delhi and Mumbai can probably make an 11 on its own. But as always, I've got Gaurav here to discuss. And as always, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see from us. I know we've been a little heavy on IPL content, but unfortunately there isn't much more going on in the world of cricket, so that is why we are carrying on with the IPL. So let's start the discussion. Just as a caveat also, we're not exactly doing this at the halfway point. I mean, some teams have played 9, some teams have played 8. Our cutoff point is the RCB Rajasthan game, which AB de Villiers smashed RCB to victory. So anything that's happened before that game, we will count. So all the stats, numbers, performances. So not exactly after 7 games each. So how do you want to do it? Do you want to start from the top, batting order, or do you want to go with the 4 foreign picks? There are many different ways of doing it, right?
Yeah, no. So what I would say is let's start from the openers and then make our way down. And then if we have if we're not sure who to pick, we can come back to that player depending on the combination we want to go for, depending on the overseas players. But we can probably go down. We can go down the lineup and make sure that all the sure shots we pick, because I'm sure there'll be a few players that both of us would like to pick, and then we can come back to the players where we can have a debate. So openers, I think this should be the most easiest thing. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think there should be any discussion about this. So KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal to open.
Yeah, makes it easier as well. There are two Indian openers, so you have some flexibility lower down in the batting with foreign picks.
Yeah.
Of course, both from the same team. Surprisingly, the team which is still at the bottom, but you can't really let that.
Kings 11 are at the bottom because of what's, apart from these two, the remaining 9 players have been pretty poor for Kings 11. So
no doubt. I mean, I think Mayank definitely a sure shot, although KL's average is higher, but I think KL's strike rate has been a little questionable at times.
I agree. I mean, his comment on I feel that strike rates are overrated. I think that was a bit misplaced. He shouldn't have done that. It's one thing, if he's actually getting them to win games. But even the other day, he was there right till the end, and it was still so nervy. With Chris Gale at the other end, and they were trying to run like a quick single with Gale. Like, there's no point in that. He's going to get run out.
I mean, it should have come to that. They needed 2 runs in the last over. It should have come to that.
I mean, Mumbai showed what you do when you have to chase less than run a ball. They showed you how to finish games. They sent in Pandya at 4, and they were like,
bang.
Go and kill the game. Yeah, go and kill the game. Exactly.
I mean, to be honest, if you talk about Rahul's strike rate, but if you look at the openers, I don't think there's been anyone who's been insanely explosive, right? I mean, Agarwal has been, but if you look at the usual suspects, Warner, Dhawan, Rohit Sharma has been hit and miss. Quinton de Kock has become better now. He's improved.
Yeah. I mean, his strike rate is up there. Obviously, he scored a lot of runs, but his strike rate is like 152. So that's pretty good. The only other player that we could have potentially considered is Faf du Plessis. Because he's the 3rd highest run scorer so far, and he's striking at 143.
So I mean that's the openers, KL Rahul, Mayank Agarwal. Very little debate. There, I think. Number 3.
Okay, so I think that we might have a debate here.
Yes.
I think we have to pick one between. I say we have to, but I feel that we should pick one between Virat Kohli and Sky. If our listeners don't know who Sky is, I think it's a lovely surname, lovely pet name, for Surya Kumar Yadav.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things where you again, this is not who's the better batsman between Surya Kumar and Virat Kohli. It's just in the context of
Obviously.
the IPL, right?
Yeah, true.
I mean, Kohli has become improved in the last, say, 3-4 games. He has,
Yeah, he has. True.
but I still think his strike rate is not exceptional, except for that 90 that he scored against
Yeah,
KKR. Was it? He hasn't
yeah,
been exceptional. Whereas Surya Kumar Yadav,
yeah,
he's played a couple of very good innings, where
yeah,
he scored 50s and he's won the game for Mumbai. And I think that's one thing where,
yeah,
for all of Kohli's brilliance, I think he's lacked that
yeah. I
this year.
agree. I mean, Virat Kohli's strike rate is 128 and Surya Kumar Yadav is 152.
Yeah,
That for me, says the story. And
I
obviously
mean,
Surya
Kohli's
Kumar
average is
Yadav has
higher.
scored.
Yeah,
Yeah, obviously he scored less runs, but that's also because Virat Kohli is coming in the first 6 overs all the time.
yeah,
Because Padikkal and Finch are probably, they're not seeing through the power play. So Kohli's coming in quite early. He's
yeah,
scoring more runs, whereas Surya Kumar Yadav is coming in slightly later. Even though Rohit is not scoring too many runs, he's not
yeah,
scoring them too quickly. He's generally being there or thereabouts, and obviously Quinton de Kock is, he's just scoring a lot of runs. So,
yeah,
and it's also, I think Mumbai have batted second more often than RCB have. So generally, Mumbai have had lesser runs to chase, if that makes
yeah.
sense. RCB have batted first more often, so they Kohli scored more runs. But yeah, I would go for Sky at number 3.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, again, you can maybe a spot for Faf if you want to be flexible with the batting order. But again, if we have an Indian option at 3, I think we can just go with that.
Yeah,
And again, there are not too many even like honorable mentions as such. Maybe Shreyas Iyer you can argue, but then we can have him lower down the order as well.
yeah,
Um, Ambati Raidu has just not played enough. He's also been inconsistent. And there's really no one else. Kane Williamson has been hit and miss.
yeah.
So
I mean, the one thing I'd say about Kane Williamson is that I'm impressed at his finishing skills. There are two or
yeah,
three games where he just came out and went bang bang from ball one. Obviously, he's not a six hitter, but
yeah,
he was able to score runs quickly, and that's what's important in T20s.
yeah, and so yeah, there's no other like clear, even in contention. It's Sky, Kohli, and then Daylight, and then
Yeah.
the rest. So number 4,
No, again, in my mind, no discussion required. There's only one, the one and only Mr. 360 AB de Villiers has to bat at number 4, right?
well, it depends. If Kohli's a captain, he might bat at number 6.
No, no. Not, this
If
is
there's a
not,
leg spinner, if there's a leg spinner bowling,
this is
whatever
not,
logic.
this is no, so this management is the Silly Point management. AB de Villiers will bat at number 4 and keep wicket.
Yeah. No,
Irrespective of the match situation, AB de Villiers will bat at 4. That's it.
I no doubt he has to, regardless of if a leg spinner is bowling, a fast bowler is bowling, the shorter boundaries on the leg side, it doesn't matter. He is Mr. 360. He showed that today against Rajasthan. When he wants to turn it on, he can really turn it on. So
Yeah.
no doubt, AB de Villiers has to be at number 4.
Yeah.
Number 5, again, you get into a debate of having a pure batsman
Mm-hmm.
or
Could, I mean,
or an
sorry, maybe.
all-rounder.
So depending on number 6 and depending on who bats at 6 and 7, we can come back to number 5 and decide, how we want the balance of the team to go.
Yeah.
Number 6 for me is a no-brainer as well, Marcus Stoinis. I think in my opinion, he's been a real surprise, like a big
Yeah.
surprise package. And I think it's just down to Ricky Ponting. Ricky Ponting really loves Stoinis, and
Yeah.
he's just given Stoinis that ability, not the ability, but more the confidence to go out there and do his stuff. And you can see that with the bat, you can see that with the ball. So for me, Stoinis is the all-rounder, the batting all-rounder, if you'd like, at number 6. I don't know if you agree or disagree.
Yeah, I think it's not as clear cut. He's had a couple of good performances, but I think he went a little missing in the middle at times, and partly it's not his fault. It's also to do with Delhi and their batting order.
Yeah.
Again, they've been very flexible. They haven't had a consistent batting order, similar to most of the other teams, but he hasn't had that consistent a chance to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, there are cases for if you want a pure batsman, someone like Nicholas Pooran, who has done phenomenally well, despite again Punjab underperforming. His strike rate and his average is very good.
Yeah.
Um,
But again, in terms of impact, right? I can only remember like two innings. I think he scored 25 of 10, and obviously that
yeah,
innings against Sunrisers when he went berserk in one over and
yeah,
scored like 28 runs in that over. So apart from that, Pooran has flopped in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, the other one, if you want to go down the all rounder route, and again, this is more of a batting all rounder, and
Yeah.
maybe this is again biased of discussing, not just the IPL performance, but the player as a whole is Karen Pollard. He's only been dismissed once, which obviously inflates his average to 170 something.
I I was going to have him at 5. I was going to say we need to have both Pollard and Stoinis, so 5 and 6.
No, but then you're really like limiting your overseas bowling options, right? So I think we can't have both.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I think maybe we can go with someone like Shreyas Iyer or someone, a pure batsman, or Hardik Pandya also, right? But Pandya has not been that consistent again.
Yeah, I mean Pandya he doesn't have great stats,
And
does he?
he hasn't bowled at all. So
Yeah, he's not bowled this IPL. So for this IPL, for this team, he'd be considered a pure batsman.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Um,
mean Owen Morgan, but again hit and miss. He good average, but he's not really. I don't except for that one game which he nearly won, with they nearly chased 220 something. He's
yeah.
not really done much.
I mean, there could be a case for someone like Sanju Samson as well.
Too inconsistent.
I'm just looking down the list of the run scorers, and there don't seem to be too many options apart from, maybe Iyer. Maybe Iyer at,
Four
Iyer,
and AB at 5.
yeah, Iyer at 4 and AB at 5. I mean, Iyer hasn't set the IPL alight. He's
Yeah,
been pretty consistent, and in fact his strike rate is pretty decent, 135.
yeah,
135, 136, which is not too bad. He had that one brilliant game where he scored 88 at Sharjah. He's a
yeah.
big six hitter as well, so I think a year at 5 sounds like a good
Yeah, I
idea.
think a year at 5 and or a year at 4, AB at 5. I think again that
Yeah,
is one. Despite us saying this is the Silly Point management team, AB has to bat at 4, but
yeah.
uh,
He can bat at 5, but I would always try and give him as much time as possible.
yeah,
So if a wicket falls around the 10th over, I'd still send AB in,
yeah,
unless you absolutely crumble.
yeah.
You can send Shreyas,
Yeah,
but if
unless you're like 10 for 2 and 2 overs, then
yeah,
maybe you
yeah,
send a
then
year in. Otherwise, it
exactly
has to be AB. And
has to
then
be.
at 6, you can go into the Stoinis versus Pollard debate.
I am going to go with Stoinis just because of his more all-round ability. I mean, yes, Pollard, he's striking at 189, which
One
is
night, yeah, phenomenal.
amazing. But then Stoinis has been, he's been a little more consistent.
Yeah,
He's striking at 162, and obviously he gives you the additional bowling option as well.
yeah.
And Stoinis is versatile. He can bowl in the power play, he can bowl in the middle, he can bowl at the death.
True. I mean, well, on these pitches, Pollard has not been too bad, right? Because of his extremely slow bowling. So
I
he is
agree.
he.
He hasn't been too bad,
Yeah,
but then again, like given the volume of innings that he's played, what he's played 4 or 5 innings, Stoinis has played, more batting innings than
yeah,
Pollard has, and in my opinion, he's had more of an impact.
yeah,
Pollard has probably, you know, pulled Mumbai through like one super over.
yeah,
He made them go into a super over in one game. Stoinis, I know 3 games at
yeah.
least where he's been a match winner.
True,
So
true. Fair enough. Let's go with that.
yeah, right. Number 7.
There has to be only one, the match winner, the X Factor,
The X,
Tewatia.
yeah. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. Would anyone have picked Tewatia in their midway or little more than midway team of the tournament of the IPL? I don't think so. I mean, this is almost equivalent of Leicester City, winning the league in which year was it? 2016?
2016, yeah.
Yeah, I think for me it's right up there. Like he's been an absolute revelation with the bat, and
Yeah,
he's been pretty decent with the ball as well.
yeah.
So yeah, Tewatia at 7. No discussions there.
The match winner again. If you look at his pure numbers, they're not like exceptional, but he's one. His match winning ability.
But man, the
winning 2
impact.
games. Impact. Not a bad bowler as well. He can bowl a bit also. So
Yeah, well, he's taken 6 wickets, right?
yeah,
Economy of 7.8, which is not too bad,
yeah.
right? And what are his batting stats?
Striker of 145 and average of 44. So
And how
very
many
good.
runs have he scored?
220.
That's incredible.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good.
220 more than Butler, more than Stoinis, more than Smith.
Yeah. So
So yeah, I think it has to be Tewatia at 7.
yeah, the wild card of the season. So basically we've got Agarwal and Rahul to open. Then we've got
Yeah,
Sky at 3. Then we've got AB or Ayer at 4 and 5, and Stoinis at 6. So that's 2 overseas players done,
yeah,
and then Tewatia at 7. So we have
yeah,
the bowlers. So we have 2 overseas picks left.
yeah.
And
Let's pick the sure shots, because there's probably like there's one spot where we might have a
yeah,
discussion, but we can certainly pick three bowlers just straight off the bat. So you've got Jasprit Bumrah, you've got
Bumrah.
Tejaspur Rabada, and
Yeah.
you've got Chahal. So I think those three.
Well, the first 2 I agree with. Chahal, I'm not sure.
Who would you pick then? Who else? Like,
Well, that's the question, right? So let's lock in Bumrah and Rabada at what 11 and 10.
yeah,
That's
yeah. So
pretty straightforward.
Rabada at 10 and
So
Bumrah
you're
at
left
11.
with 6, 8 and 9
8 and
with
9
one
exactly.
overseas spot, right?
Yeah,
Um, and so this is the interesting debate, right? So you have 2 fast bowlers and
yeah,
Stoinis,
yeah,
and then you have Devati as a spinning option.
yeah,
So do you go with 2 spinners, or do you
yeah.
go with another medium pacer and you go with another spinner, right? So you also have that flexibility.
So, like, my personal opinion would be to go with one spinner and one medium pacer for the 2 spots we have remaining. And I'm sure, like, I can already think of the options that we can go with. So one
Yeah,
one set of options. This is my opinion, right? One set of options could be to go with Chahal and Jofra Archer.
yeah.
Okay, that
Which
would
is
be
the
one
obvious
set,
easy option.
which is the easy option. Or then the other set would be to
Yeah,
go with Rashid Khan and Mohammad
Rashid.
Shami.
Yeah, so that was my personal preference. I mean, the thing with Shami is that his economy is still pretty high. It's 8.7, I think,
Yeah.
which is pretty high. But I really want Rashid Khan on my team.
I mean,
Or what I was actually thinking, because you already have 3 fast bowlers, you can actually go with 2 spinners, and in that you could have Rashid Khan, and I wouldn't mind actually having someone like Washington Sundar, but except for the last game that he played, his economy rate has been phenomenal. Under 5 it was. Now it's still slightly over 5,
yeah.
but
But
his
yeah, I
average
mean,
isn't good. But then and he bowls in the power play. He gives you the flexibility.
yeah. His economy is 5.89. So that's amazing. That's amazing. I mean,
Exactly.
so I'm trying to think of it from a team perspective,
Yeah.
right? From a team perspective, you've got Archer. If we go with Chahal and Archer,
Yeah.
right? Then you've got Rabada, Bumrah, and Archer, right? Archer's been, if not as phenomenal, then at least equally phenomenal in the
Yeah.
power play. Yeah.
And handy with the
Kalinto
bat.
Sundar. And he's
Yeah.
did some massive sixes as well, right? So
Yeah.
that's an added bonus. But just from a bowling perspective, Archer's been pretty similar to Sundar in the power play in terms of his
Yeah.
economy. Archer can come back in the end as well, and just combine pretty well with Bumrah and Rabada,
Yeah.
right? So my view would be to go with those 3, and then you got Chahal and Tewatia to kind of finish the combination. You've got 2 leg spinners there, and they're both different kinds of leg spinners in my
Yeah.
opinion, right? Tewatia is more like your slide. He bowls a lot of sliders, bowls a lot of straight ones. He bowls short of a length. And Chahal is your traditional leg spinner. He'll toss the ball up. He's quite brave in that way. Even when he gets hit for sixes, he'll still toss the ball up.
True. Yeah, which he did actually in that game against Kings 11, wasn't it? Where he kept bowling wide outside off stump to Gale.
Yeah.
He does toss it up, and yes, I mean it's really hard to not have Chahal, but it's really hard for me not to have Rashid Khan. I mean his economy has been phenomenal. 5.3 is a phenomenal economy rate. His
I
average
agree.
is very good.
I agree.
And then if you say they just bat him out for 4 overs for 15 or whatever, but
That's fine.
still
Yeah.
his average is pretty good as well. As he takes
Yeah.
wickets,
Yeah.
he's he can score handy runs with at the bottom. So if you discuss it that way, but it's really Archer versus Rashid Khan, right? Because you only have one overseas pick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
special mention to Andrej Nokia, but we can't have him because then we'll have four
Well, I was going to
DC
say,
players.
special mention to Andrej Nokia, to Trent Bolt, who we haven't discussed. He's been phenomenal for Mumbai as well. And another new entry in that list who hasn't played 5 or 6 games in the IPL, but he's right up there, Chris Morris.
Chris Morris, yeah.
He's taken 9 wickets already. So he's just one behind Rashid Khan. So top-notch effort by him as well. But yeah, it's a tough one. Like, personally, nothing against Rashid Khan. He's been brilliant. But again, I'm thinking about, who's had more of an impact.
Yeah.
Right. I would say probably for me, Archer has had more of an impact, even with the bat and even with the ball, right? Both ways. Like, look at who Archer has to support him. He's got Jaydev Unadkat, who I don't rate at all. Shreyas Gopal has been rubbish this season.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Whereas Rashid Khan, he had Bhuvi for a bit. And apart from that, there's this guy called Natarajan.
Yeah.
He's bowled the highest number of Yorkers this season. Like more than Bumrah and stuff.
No, but even then, even the rest of like who else do that? Like Khalil Ahmed, he's been hit and miss.
Well, he's taken lots of wickets, right? Khalil Ahmed, how many wickets has he taken? I'm sure he's the second highest. Well, Natarajan is the second highest wicket taker for Sunrisers, who's taken 9, and Khalil has taken 8. So you've got like 3 Sunrisers bowlers in like the top 15 wicket takers. So more support. Archer's right up there, and then who's the next?
So you're saying it's as easy as just picking. You look at the list, who's the top 4 wicket takers, and just pick those: Rabada, Chahal, Archer, and Bumrah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of true, right? Their economies, their strike rates, their ability to bowl throughout various phases in the game. They're very.
Well, how about having the 2 leg spinners? What about Rahul Chahar and Rashid Khan? Rahul Chahar has been phenomenal.
Well, then Rashid Khan will have to bat at 7, right?
No, he bats at 6. He bats at 8, sorry. Tewatia still bats at 7.
So you'll have 3 leg spinners. You'll have Rahul Chahar, Rashid Khan and Tewatia. You're going the Rajasthan Royals way. Then we'll come last.
Then you have Washington Sundar instead of Chahar.
What do you have against Chahal?
I don't. I just think it's too easy a pick to have him in the team. And also he got hammered in the previous game against Kings 11.
Everyone gets hammered. Rashid Khan got hammered for 12 runs. Have you ever heard of Rashid Khan getting hit for 12 runs, that too of reverse sweeps, and someone like Tewatia doing that? AB de Villiers does it, okay, no problem. I will gladly take that. Even Rashid Khan will take it. But imagine getting hit for 3 fours by Tewatia.
Yeah. No, okay, fine. I mean, it's a tough debate. I mean, I would have loved to have Rashid Khan in it, but it's a tough one to give up. So if we go with Chahal and Archer, I mean, on balance, you have 2 leg spinners, 3 fast bowlers, and then a medium pacer. You have 6 bowling options.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good balanced attack, I guess. So,
exactly. And we haven't, we've got our 4 overseas players. Yeah. We've got, we made sure we've not picked more than 3 players from any team. So just to go through the list, our openers are KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal.
Yeah. Sorry, can I just make a comment here? I just checked actually. Stoinis' economy rate is like 10, by the way.
Doesn't matter. What's Pollard's economy?
Well, Pollard, he hasn't bowled as much as him, right? But
yeah. What's Pollard's economy?
8.9, 8.8.
It's okay. Are you forgetting the super over? The first game of the season. Stoinis, man, come on.
True.
Pollard wouldn't have been able to pull that off.
And I also remember the super over that Mumbai had against RCB, where Pollard got them to the super over along with Kishan, and then messed it up.
Yeah, true. So going down our list. So this is our IPL 11 so far. We open with KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal, followed by Surya Kumar Yadav at number 3, AB de Villiers at number 4, who will also keep wicket. Shreyas Iyer at number 5. You've got Marcus Stoinis at number 6. At number 7, you've got the king of chases, Rahul Tewatia. At number 8, we have gone with
Well,
we've gone with
Archer.
Archer. Obviously, number 8 is Archer. Number 9 is Rabada. Number 10 is Chahal, and number 11 is Bumrah. And that,
Yeah.
I think, is a phenomenal team.
I agree. Phenomenal. Maybe
Yeah.
Rashid Khan would have made it slightly better, but unfortunately we couldn't fit him in.
No, that's fine.
But
That's fine.
that
So
is
we've
what.
actually ended up picking 3 players from Delhi, right? We've gone with
Yeah,
Shreyas Iyer, Marcus Stoinis, and Rabada. So yeah.
yeah, and two from MI. Yeah, Bumrah
Correct.
and Sky.
Yeah, 2 from MI, Bumrah and Sky. That's right, and 2 from Kings 11, surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
and 2 from RCB as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, not surprising. I mean, obviously Kings 11 have had the best two openers. Unfortunately, their league table position doesn't reflect that. But
Yeah.
Delhi and MI have been by far been the best two teams. So
Yeah, followed by RCB. So
RCB have done very well as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so no doubt.
yeah, makes
Um,
sense. And
so that.
surprisingly, we've got 2 players from Rajasthan, which
Oh yeah.
who have predicted, will finish last in the IPL, and have backed it for Archer.
But
so
that's because of the impact, right? Not because of
exactly.
just performances only, but also the impact, right? Not just stats, I guess.
True, that's
Although
true.
Archer's stats are phenomenal, but still.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Who'll captain this team? I think again it's a straightforward decision, right?
KL Rahul.
Iyer has to do it, right?
Iyer, KL, yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
yeah. I mean, the guy who's leading leading the table
exactly.
has to captain, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
So Iyer. Yeah, and AB de Villiers will keep wicket.
yeah. That's pretty
Yeah,
straightforward.
yeah.
Cool.
So
So that's our 11 for the halfway stage, or slightly more than the halfway stage of the IPL. Let us know your picks. Who do you think should be in our 11, or who do you think should have made it or shouldn't have made it? And let us know who your halfway stage 11 is for the IPL. As always, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And thank you for watching.
thank you.